Gentlemen, this is Manoj Atri, your host for tonight, and I thank you for joining today. I am again joined with my mortgage expert today. So we will start with a hi from him, and then we'll go through the agenda of the day and the plan of action for today. So let's head over to our expert and take a hi from him, and then we will go take it from there. Hi, Faisal.
Hello, sir.
How
Hello,
are you?
audience. I'm great. Not
Wonderful.
so cold.
Thank you very much for joining on the family day
Thank you
and taking out some time.
Thank you.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate that. And I had quite a mixed feedback for today.
Mhm.
Some were saying everything is closed. It'll be very nice to join our webinar in the evening.
Okay.
And weather is also not that conducive for outside ventures.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a few looking forward to this evening webinar. So we are doing good.
All of those are facts.
Really? Okay. So let me start with the agenda of the day. We have some very interesting, and you will also like it as an investor, some very good information. So let me start with the agenda of the day, and we'll get back to you as we get along. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as usual, I again thank you for joining. My name is Manoj Atri. I am your host. I am a realtor with Remax Hallmark Realty Limited, and I will be starting with the agenda of the day and then take you there. We'll try to keep it within the 1 hour mark as usual, as requested by so many of you. So we will try to wrap it up by around 8 p.m. And we have one or two things which you will greatly appreciate for tonight. And let's start with it. And so as usual, I'll be again starting with my real estate monologue. And in today's monologue, I am covering an example, and you will find it extremely interesting that how this example is being covered and what are the values here. This is an example that someone has recently closed on a 2-bedroom plus den condo for $350,000, whereas the Toronto values for these ones presently are going for around $600,000. So someone has been proactive, someone who had planned properly, and I will be going through that example and walking you some of the other options which that article explains. And so it is in your interest to hang in there, and you will get lots of good information today from, and we'll have our expert to weigh down on that particular one. Next one, this has been a constant information that has been sought by many of my prospects who call me often. Can you own a rent-to-buy Toronto house with no down payment? So we are going to dwell into this particular one. We are going to explain you some of the information on rent-to-own and the buying and the comparisons and differences on that ones and the challenges that are involved and why a down payment situation is there. So that is all. We are going to take a very good insight into the down payment issue there. And as we have already told you, we are having a live interview with our mortgage expert, and we will keep on going back and forth with him and keep on taking his expertise on a regular basis. So let me head over and take a brief from our mortgage expert, and then we'll go to the article. So let's head over to our expert there. Faisal sir.
Yes, sir.
Did you hear me out there?
Some of it. I had to step out, so
We are reviewing an example that someone bought a $350,000 condo.
Mhm.
She was very proactive,
Mhm.
and in an area, 2 bedrooms plus den,
Mhm.
where the Toronto condo values in that particular scenario or comparables are going in the $600,000 range. Awesome stuff that has been done, and she has got some help, and there is a program that is in the market, which others can also avail, and that is what we are going to review. So does it sound interesting?
It sounds $250,000 interesting. $250,000. That's a lot of money.
That's a very, I mean, it is like, and this program is open for everyone. That's the best part of it. And they have some, you have to choose the properties that are there, but they are doing very good.
Okay.
And you must have heard of it, but let's dwell more into the article and we will take it from there. Okay. Now, this particular article is a CBC news article, and it has been done by Lauren Pelley. And I will go into the article, but the headlines of this article is, From Co-Living to Micro Condos, Ryerson researchers say Toronto needs more housing innovations. They are giving us 2 or 3 other alternatives, apart from the one that we have been walking you through, the rent-to-own one. So you have now 3 or 4 options here to look into it, and that is where we are for the real estate monologue today, where we are covering this particular article. So again, from co-living to micro condos, Ryerson researchers say Toronto needs more housing innovations. So let's dwell further into it. City needs to implement solutions to housing crunch as swiftly as possible, a report says. Wonderful. Yes, something needs to be done. We are all going through various buying challenges, and so housing innovations are required. Now you can see the smiling Visha Gandhi here, and let me walk you through exactly what she did. In Toronto, where average condo prices are now more than $600,000, Visha Gandhi bought a 2-bedroom plus den for $350,000 through an innovative non-profit housing program. So I'm going to walk you through that particular program, and I'm going to walk you through how you can avail of this particular program also, and that is fine. In January, Visha Gandhi moved into her first condo. Spacious and bright with large south-facing windows, the 2-bedroom plus den unit overlooks a row of townhouses on nearby Ice Cream Lane. The building amenities include a yoga room, jam space, and common area, and the 12th floor tower is just steps to Danforth Avenue and a 5-minute walk from main station. So it is right in the heart of the downtown core there, very near those particular Danforth and Main. The price tag for Gandhi's unit, just $350,000. Awesome. This is awesome that she did. In Toronto, where average condo prices are now more than $600,000 and homes are typically going in for $800,000, that's a steal. Absolute steal. $250,000 on the day you move in. This is the awesomeness it is. But it was possible. Gandhi said, because instead of going the conventional route, she bought through an innovative non-profit housing program. I'm really happy I was able to make the leap, she said. Okay, so let's now go through further on this particular one. Gandhi's experience is why Toronto needs to increasingly think outside the box when it comes to housing strategies, according to a new report from Ryerson University City Building Institute. And that is where like they are giving you 2 or 3 things: co-living, micro condos, and this option that she has done, and we are walking you through the rent to own. So you have some alternatives there, and that is why we picked up this article for our real estate monologue for today. Released on Thursday, Rethinking the Tower highlights innovations that could help more people find affordable places to live, from micro condos and shared living arrangements to unbundling amenities from condo prices to boost affordability. So there are some options, and that is what we are going to walk you through. I am going to take you further on this particular one, and that is what exactly happened here. And we will then go get back on this particular one. How did she get this done? While many private developers package luxury finishes, parking, and big ticket amenities like swimming pool into every project, the non-profit she purchased from, Options for Home, so that is where she got this one done from, and that is called Options for Home, allowed her to buy a pre-construction condo without all the trappings 4 years before it was finished, and decide partway through the process if she wanted to upgrade her suite. Okay, so that is where, ladies and gentlemen, I'm walking you through this particular one, and this is all the description for Options for Home is in the description section there. So when you are on this particular live stream, below that one under the descriptions, you will find the links for Options for Home. Let's take a moment and go there exactly what they do. This is the website for home options, optionsforhome.ca. Home ownership, and it is possible. It is possible. Who is this option? Okay, so you can go ahead and read quite a lot, and they have a video to explain more about it, and you can scroll further. Now let's read how does options help. So we're going to go through just a brief paragraph here, which can guide you exactly how to do, and they help you with some form of the down payment loan. Our award-winning model offers you a down payment loan that is payment free until you sell or move. So they are offering you a down payment loan. We boost your down payment of 5% by 10% to 15% of the purchase price of your home to help you secure a conventional mortgage. And since the amount is lower, this makes your monthly carrying cost lower too. When you move, the loan gets paid back plus some appreciation. If the loan towards down payment was 10% to 15%, now 10 to 15% of the current home value is due back. So there is, you can go through the intricacies of the program, and that is where they are willing to help you with the down payment and secure the conventional mortgage. You may be eligible for an additional $25,000 to further boost your down payment if you are a first-time buyer, and that is where maybe they might be using the RRSP route or something. So there are options there. And that is where, when you are struggling for down payment, there are some options that are there in the market for you to avail. They have one limitations, which we will just go through. Who can get the options down payment loan? The options down payment loan is available to anyone who wants it. So remember this, it is available. You will have to qualify for it. Regardless of income, or whether they have previously owned a home. The only requirements are that you have a 5% down payment, qualify, and secure a mortgage from a primary lender and plan to live in your options home. So basically, regardless of income, I wouldn't expect this whole thing to work properly, because you have to qualify, and you qualify on the basis of income. So these two statements need to be understood further, and because you will have to, even if you are having 20% down payment, you have to secure a mortgage. So you may have to work out all that particular details there. You can choose to take a loan worth 10% to 15% of the purchase price of the home. So if you have 5%, you get another 15% there. The total amount is 20%, and now you can get a conventional mortgage there. But you will have, your income will also be taken into consideration. Generally, for a condos, it goes all the way up to from 4% of your annual gross income, and for freehold, you may qualify up to 4.5 times the income. But if your credit score is way beyond the 680 mark, you may even qualify for a further one. Call us and we will walk you through much more of that particular format. When you sell or no longer live in your home, you repay the 10 to 15% of the current market value of your home. So be in touch with them to get how all the jugglery there and all the formats of that particular one. The only restriction that I see there is, do you provide the down payment loan for other developments beside your own? No. They only offer the down payment loan for homes development. But yes, they have various areas that they are working on. So you can look into that particular details, and you but the thing is, there are options there for you to act. At this moment, let's head over to our expert there and see what he has to say about this particular one. Faisal, sir.
I heard all of it very carefully. So, first of all, someone brought this to my attention a couple of years ago. There was another development that was placed with very similar characteristics. So yes, it is one of the options in the market now, but yes, you have to make sure that, one, you qualify, two, when you do sell the property, you're paying part of the equity growth. So almost like, I don't know if I can use the word silent partner, but something of that sort, where have people run businesses and they have an active partner and they have a silent partner, and silent partner wants part of the profit. That's what this is.
Yes, but the main thing here is, like, see, let's just suppose we are throwing in everything that is available in the market. That is the reason we picked up this one.
Absolutely.
If the property value, let's just suppose, because I think so, she must have done 3 or 4 years ago when the pre-construction stage was there. And if I'm not wrong, I may have read it somewhere. I am not exactly sure. But in the end, I mean, $350 for a 2-bedroom condo with the den, there is nothing there in the market available in that price range.
Absolutely.
And in that area, I mean, it may be available in some other areas, but not in that particular area. And the comparables are in the $600,000 range. That's what the article is saying. Yep. $250, even if you make $250,000, and even if you have to share out that particular amount of money, which is a good amount of chunk of change. Yep. I mean, on day one, you have enough equity in the property.
Absolutely.
And the main thing here is you stay in there for another 4 or 5 years, you will double that amount.
Absolutely.
So it is, and those people who are struggling with the down payment, it is something that they should look into.
See, every option counts in this market because things have just, we know where the real estate has gone, and so every option, every tiny bit helps, and this is one of the great options possible.
I found this to be very nice. I mean, like $250,000 in 4 years, and on the day you move in, exactly. Yep. I mean, you have been proactive and you had done good for yourself. It's a very, very nice format there. Okay, let's head back to the article and look into the second format that they have. Micro units rising in popularity. Okay, so this one also, it's very interesting. Alongside suites that can be customized, the Ryerson team also notes micro units, typically no more than 350 square feet, are growing more popular in major urban centers like New York and Seattle. And it is something similar that has been going on here. So let's look into one of those. Small micro condos. So let's look into this particular one. That is also another which is going. In this city, one company has already given the concept a shot. Toronto first micro condo development by Smart House, built on Queen Street West by developer Urban Capital, offered buyers the chance to snag units starting at around 290 square feet for $250,000. So this is another one, and I was going through their website. They're also coming up with some other projects. So it is in your interest to look into this particular one, which is called Smart House. And let's head you over to that particular website. And this is their website, which is smarthousetoronto.com. And again, the links are in the description, so you can have a very nice look into that particular one. I am on the page for Smart House Smart Amenities, and their amenities, I mean, these are gorgeous amenities. A fitness room is there, which looks very, very nice, with some treadmills, bicycles, other stuffs there, balls there, and some other stuff there. You have a show kitchen there, lounge there, exterior terrace, and they sound very interesting amenities there. Now let's head to some of their smart features. Let's look into this smart features. Okay, now let's have a look with what exactly is their smart kitchen. So then this is when it is closed, a sleek kitchen by design. So this is what it looks like when the kitchen is closed. And now let's have a look at when the kitchen is open. When it's open, a place for everything. Wow, you have a fridge, deep freezer, space for utensils, and microwave, and this looks like probably a washer dryer or something. Could be a stacked washer combo, stacked washer dryer, and some other storage spaces. It looks very, very interesting there. So that is where their smart place for kitchen is there. And again, they are doing some very good stuff there. It is in your interest to go, and they have some smart locations. And let's head into this particular one. This is the one that they have done at near the Queen and University area, which is a smart house, and units were starting. And I think so they are, if you go through furthermore, they are also doing some other projects, and that will be interesting too. So if you are like now looking for some small spaces and on a tighter budget, and instead of renting, because even if you purchase a condo for around $250,000 with 5% down payment, your numbers should be around $2,000 per month. $1,250 for your mortgage, another $500-600 for your maintenance plus property taxes. So you're within $1,800 to $2,000, and it will be in your interest because that's the same amount you will be paying for renting. Might as well pick up and if you're can work within these small, tighter units, this is another option for you to look into. Now let's head over to our expert there and ask his update on this particular scenario which is going in the market. Faisal sir, what do you have to say about this?
You know what? It's quite an interesting concept, and because space is limited, any and every innovation that can help us maximize the space is a great idea. So yeah, we're going into market where we really have to think outside the box, because if you look at, for instance, older condos, the space is 1,200 square feet. Like I wouldn't even know, as it's these are big condos, but they don't have they don't have the innovative items that the new ones have, where the space is limited, but there's various different ways that gives you a better, bigger feel.
See, that is where I am coming from. Like they have to be. You are these days. If you are stuck in the downtown core and you have your workplace there and you are like living there, might as well, if you're paying rental for $2,000, might as well pick up a smaller condo unit. You're just dropping there. You're working the whole day, and you just have to go and reside at a place in the evening. So these are like it depends upon, but obviously the space is very tight, and you have to accommodate yourself for. But there are other amenities. I mean, you have breathing rooms there. That is what I would say. And then might as well buy like a very big house in the suburban, and on the weekends you can be there. So these are all alternatives. That is what this particular article was picking it up, and so it is not that there are nothing is there. It is that's where we are coming up with some kind of alternatives to the crazy market that we in real estate that we are dealing with.
Yep.
Okay, now let's head back over to the article, and this is also an interesting last point that they have. And then so I've given you two alternatives at the moment. I'm going to give you a third one, and then the fourth one is our rent to own, and we will try to start that one with the half an hour mark. Okay, so the last one they are saying is co-living. So let's discuss this particular arrangement, which is a co-living arrangement where residents share services and space, can also boost affordability and community, the author continues to say that. In Toronto, an innovative pilot program aimed to hit both marks. Run in part by a University of Toronto researcher, it paired up seniors and students as roommates, giving the latter spaces they can afford while giving the older participants a little extra help around the house in exchange. So this was also done, and you can read more about it in this particular article. And this also was a very nice idea. And let's head back to our expert and see what he has to say about sharing it with seniors.
Yes, sir.
So the third option the article was suggesting was co-living. Seniors, they did some research for seniors with students, and so the seniors are getting help some with the money, and the other people are able to get some room spaces or something else for a very cheaper amount, and it helps them, it helps the other side. So there are some alternatives going on in the market, and that is what they were trying to highlight.
So a few episodes ago, we talked about families, 2 or more families owning a home together, where one takes one level, another one takes.
Yes, we did.
So this is exactly very similar concept on a smaller scale, where you are co-living, and we've had clients that have owned co-living, and it's, if your finances only allow that, then it's not a bad idea, as long as you're going in with someone you can work with. So it helps both sides. That's the reality. It helps the senior that needs more than what the income is being paid from government assistance, CPP, OAS, and any pension they have on hand. And it helps the students that are looking for affordable housing while they are in school, since their tuition can only since their student loan can only cover so much.
Yes. So basically, in the end, I mean, we'll have to become more innovative, and we will have to come up with other formats of real estate, because the market is extremely difficult to get into. And so the article was, and we are exactly at our halfway mark to get into our format, and that is the fourth option that we are putting it over for as rent to own, and those can also be availed.
Yep.
So let's head over to our article for the day. But I mean, overall, I found this article to be very interesting. It gave some options on the table.
Yeah. See, options are all on the table. Now it's the client who has to then start see which one suits them best.
Yes. I have been a strong advocate for stop renting, start owning in whatever format you can, because the main thing here is, let's just suppose for argument's sake, you are paying $2,000 per month for a rental. That's $24,000 is gone down the drain. There is no recourse for that. Whereas if you pick up a property and pick it up prudently, pick it up in a format that you can work with, that money, whatever you're paying and even extra, it's all going towards a forced saving.
Yeah.
Property prices easily are appreciating in the market, until and unless it was 2016 and 2017, which went crazy. So if you are in the normal cycle, the property prices are appreciating by 5 or 7% every year. Remain prudent when you're buying. Work with professionals who can guide you where exactly the market is and where it is going, and you will still, and every year you will be making some money. You will
Absolutely.
be on a positive note rather than going in a different note. And that is where our rent to own also format comes in over to look into. And let's head over, because we need to cover it within the hour mark. Okay, let's head over to our format here. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we just finished our monologue for today, which was the example covering the two bedroom plus den. Now I am going to head you over to an important article that has been a query that has been seeked numerous times, and every time, why do we need a down payment for rent to own? And let's explain you why do we need it exactly. Okay, so let's head over there, and so now, can you own it with no down payment? So let's start explaining you if that is possible. And when I'm starting to explain you this particular one, let me guide you with the term rent to own and buying. And that has to be very clearly understood by each one of you so that you can comprehend what exactly is there. If you see in this particular term, rent to own, there is a component which says owning. When you own means you have to buy that particular property. So that is where this particular term has to be understood. It is not that you are renting for 25 years. You rent it out for an year or 2 years, and then you have to own this particular property. So that is why it has to be understood. There is a buying component to it, and you have to qualify on day one for all the buying qualifications. So we will be going through all your buying qualifications, and then I'm going to now explain you, if you're go through all the buying qualification, what exactly is the difference between these two things. And that is what I'm going to highlight you before I jump into the down payment module. Okay, let's head over to this particular stuff. Now I'm going to explain to you the challenges for rent to own or buying, and what exactly is the difference between rent to own and buying. Okay, I have many a times told you, whenever you're trying to rent to own or buying, you have 4 challenges in place. And the first one is credit score. I will dwell into this particular one on my next slide. So hang in there. Let's go through the challenges first. So challenge number 1 is credit score. Challenge number 2 is the income. And that is also a challenge. You will qualify again on our next slide after the credit score. I'm going to go into more details on the income format. So 2 challenges I've highlighted. We need to know your credit score. We need to know your income. And when we are talking about the income, we're talking about the annual gross income. We're not talking about any speculation that is going to happen tomorrow. And we need to work with what exactly is your annual gross income today. Next challenge is the down payment. And again, now the topic also is whether you require down payment or not. And the simple answer is yes, you require down payment. Now we are going to go into the details of the down payment. What amount of down payment is required, and it will vary with the credit score, and we are going to explain you in detail there. So the third challenge, whether you're trying to do rent to own or buying, these are the information we need from you. And the fourth thing is, and this is the market challenge that is there. Even if you have a good credit score, you have the requisite income, you have the down payment, finding properties in that particular price range has become a challenge also. So remember that you are working with 4 challenges, whether you're trying to do rent to own or buying. So now we have understood all these particular one. So let's give you what exactly is the major difference between rent to own and buying. And the major difference is the credit score. The income doesn't change, the down payment issues will not change, finding properties will not change. The only difference is the credit score. So your credit is below a certain point where you cannot get a mortgage. So the time frame that is required for you to repair your credit and get a mortgage, that is the period where do you do exactly the rent to own. So that is what we were trying to highlight on this particular one. And let's head over to our expert there and seek whatever he has to add to this particular one, and seek if he was able to understand clearly the difference between rent to own and buying. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, you pointed out very important distinction between if you should do rent to own or you should try buying, because yes, credit score is one big one that makes a big difference, huge difference.
The important aspect on this particular slide was, I just wanted to explain them like rent to it is actually you are buying the property. The
Absolutely.
only thing is, if your credit score was good enough, we will get you the buying process there. If your credit score is bad, so every other requirement remains the same. Now your credit score is bad, you still have the down payment, you still have the income, and you would like avoid the hassle of renting, you can enter into this one. So that is the basic difference between rent to own and buying, only is the credit score. And maybe some other person may be giving you some other format, but the format that we are working on is the credit score. So that is all that is the piece that is missing. Apart from it, everything else is in the buying component here.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So I was able to walk them through properly, and that was what my intent here was. Okay, so let's head over to the next slide, and that is the credit score analysis. Let me take a sip here Okay, I'm going to go very fast into it because our main one is the down payment issue that we have to walk you through. I am going to be very fast on this one. And what exactly is the format here? Many times I have walked you through, if your credit score is 600 and above, 601 and above, there are lenders who will be who will be able to give you a mortgage. If your credit score is between 500 and 600, 501 to 600, you are better as a credit repair. In our numerous even other walkthrough, we have already explained you, rent to own is a very costly program. It is a worst case scenario. It should be your last option. So having told that, that is where we have that program and we will be able to best address it for you. That's not a problem. But the thing here is you have to comprehend and understand it is a worst case scenario. It is an extremely costly program. There is only one small format in which it can be a good idea. So having told you all that, and in the next probably webinar, we will walk you through more about this rent to own options and guide you there. So for the moment, if your credit score was between 500 and 1 to 600, we will explain you it is better for you to go for the credit repair because that may be improved within 3 months to 6 months time. And why would you like to go into a costly program when get this repaired, get on board with the mortgage, and you're done with it and you are in there. Now, if your credit score is below 500, that is when you should be looking at this particular option. And that is where we were wanting to highlight you so that you can understand the difference between credit and rent to own and buying. Is the only difference is rent to own, and that is when you're trying to repair your credit to bring it over to an extent where you can get a mortgage. Let's see if I was able to explain that clearly through my expert there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, very distinctively explained.
Do you think the buffer that we have made between 500 and 600 for credit repair, would that be much sounds like correct?
Yes.
Because
600 is really the cutoff where
lenders start working. Yes.
Yes.
And the main thing here is like this particular part also I wanted to double check it with you, that the credit repair, as you are an expert there and you have done it numerous times, it is easier to do credit repair within 3 to 6 months. What would you say?
Yes. Yes.
And you have those examples there.
Yeah, we've done, from what I remember, we've done about 8 files successfully in last 2 years mark.
Okay.
And those were able to, fulfill, and yeah, we've done, and that's the number that comes to my mind. I'm sure there are more, but those are the numbers that come to my mind. For credit repair.
For credit repair, yes. And I've seen some of the good works that you're doing there and helping clients there. So, I
forgot about the ones that are in process as we speak.
Yes. So there is, you have done some very good settlements, and you have also done a tremendous good repair on that one. And there are some loans assistance that also can be availed further on that particular one. And I will take the opportunity now to get on to the next slide. Okay, so now let's head over to the next slide, and that is the income qualifications. And that also has to be understood by you all very carefully. That is what exactly it is. Whenever we are talking about the income, we are talking about annual gross income. So whenever I seek from you all that what exactly is your annual gross income, you should be able to have that information handy and get us that particular information. And this is the one part that I would like to explain it to you, that no income speculation. many of you have told me a time, this is my income today, and in 2 years' time, it will be this particular income. Absolutely right. There are, as I'm in the market, there are some companies which are accepting this income speculation, and you would like to work with it. Our investors who come into the picture, they are not interested with this income speculation, because they say if it goes the other way around, and now I'm trying to buy them a property with income speculation and it doesn't reach there, I am stranded. So that is where the problem with our format is. And in case if you can comprehend this particular one, we are not able to do income speculations at the moment. Okay, so let's go ahead with the next one. If you're trying to buy a condo, so let's say suppose your income is $75,000, you will qualify 4 times the income. And now when we are talking about it is the household income. So one person has 50,000, the other person has 25,000. Combined income is 75,000. You will get qualified 4 times the income. So that means any condo up to $300,000. So 75 multiplied by 4 times, that comes to $300,000. So you will get qualified for any condo up to 4 times the income. Let's go to the freehold format. Okay, now we are giving you up to 5 times the income. So you have to remember this term, up to. Now, most of the time, it will be close to 4.5 times the income, until and unless your credit score is 680 and beyond, and you have less debt, your credit score is very good, the incomes are there, and we may be able to stretch it up to 5 times through some lenders, because they have given us some of the options there. Sometimes they do consider it. So that is why we are going all the way. So if your income was 75, credit scores is 680 and above, and you may qualify all the way up to 350. So those are some of the numbers that you can do. Most of the time it is around 4.5 times the income. And if your debt is low, if your credit scores are very good, and you have a clean slate, there is a possibility you may be stretched over to 5 times the income. Let's head over to our expert there and see what he has to say about this particular scenario. Make sense what the number income format is there?
Yes, absolutely. Now, one thing I want to point out, I know we're short on time, but yes, when an investor does rent to own, they are not looking to have the rent to own for a long period of time. So they're looking to have an exit strategy. That's the key word. Exit strategy at the end of year, 2 year, 3 year, whatever the investor has agreed to. So that is one of the big reasons the income speculation at this moment is not an option. So I'm just adding to the information that you've given there.
Also, the reason here is, the main thing here is, if you keep it for a very long time, it will not become conducive at all.
Yeah.
It will not be in your format at all.
Yeah.
You will be paying unnecessary too much. I mean, every year there is an appreciation value to that particular one. Now, the entire appreciation you have just given it to the investor. Yes.
Yeah.
This is also has to be clearly understood. The program is very good for sellers and extremely good for investors. So if you're an investor, you would like to join, this is a great program for you, because this is where the rent to own purchaser, he has to come in for short term, get it out of the rental market, get yourself there, fix up your credit. And I don't think so a credit fix will require 2 years, more than 1 year or 2 years.
No, absolutely not.
You follow the plan, you work with the professionals, follow each and every step they are doing. They are experts there. They have done it numerous number of times, and get out of it. Only pay the bare minimum appreciation and get away with it. It is in your interest to work like in a very prudent way and avail the options there, but not like stretch it out so much that it becomes counterproductive.
Absolutely. Even and before again, time is sensitive here, but as long as, and we've done numerous credit repairs, as long as client is acting fast, because our office is fast, if client is acting fast, we can get them even sooner.
That's what I'm saying. It is like, in case if you are proactive, it doesn't take you a numerous number of years. No. And why pay the appreciation per year? Yeah. Keep everything basic minimum. Okay, let's head back to the article again there, and let's head over there. Okay, so now let's get, this is the most important part, and let's explain you. Now we are on our main topic, and that is where I would like to concentrate a few minutes here. Why down payment is required. Now let's explain you this particular clarity there. So you want to do a rent-to-own program, and in a rent-to-own program, what happens here exactly is you can go and pick up any property in the GTA or even outside of there. Now an investor comes into the picture. The investor will go through your file, will go through each and everything, your income, your down payment, and what exactly is going wrong with your credit and everything. And once he gives you a go ahead, he is the actual person who is going and purchasing your property, and you are doing a rent to own from him. So that has to be understood. And that is where now the why down payment is required. I'm going to explain you this with an example of how much the risk the investor is taking by purchasing this particular property. So you have to now comprehend this particular simple thing. How much is his risk? And that is why he required you to have some kind of a down payment or some kind of a skin in the game. That is where the down payment is required. So let's head over with an example. An investor is trying to purchase a property for $400,000. And what are his risk details? This is the risk he is taking on day one. And that is why he wants to see some kind of a down payment from you. Let's head over through. First of all, he's trying to buy a property for you. Let's go through his buying amounts, and we'll keep it all to the basic minimums. So let's say suppose he's buying with 5% down payment for a $400,000 property. He will require close to $20,000 as down payment. He will have to pay a high ratio mortgage insurance. Banks are only giving you 80%. The rest 15% is coming through various companies who do high ratio mortgage insurance. At this moment, we have Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, we have Genworth, we have Canada Guaranty, and this is the amount that you will be charged, 4.1% high ratio mortgage insurance. So that he has to pay in, and though it gets added to the mortgage, but that amount is there. Next is the closing cost. Now let's say suppose he is also buying it out for you for the first time. His approximate closing cost is close to 1.5% of the purchase price, and let's take it around $6,000. So in total, for just his buying amount, he is down by $41,000, almost 10% of the purchase price. He's already down by that particular amount. Let's go now. Let's try to see everything goes okay, everything is fine. He wants to do it in the good spirit and in good faith, trusting that you do your part and you close the property in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years term, up to 5 years term, in whatever format you feel perfect, and you purchase that particular property. Everything goes okay, the selling amounts don't come into the picture. But now let's see if there is a worst case scenario. Somehow your situation changes. You are not able to make these payments at all. And he has to go through the process of calling this property off. But he has already purchased it. He will have to sell this particular property. Let's see he will have to break the mortgage. And he will have to pay a 3 months penalty. So there is a format that he has to, I'm taking round numbers and even taking the basic minimum. So he has to come up with the mortgage penalty amounts. He will have to come, it may take a month or 2 months in order that he's trying to still work out with you. Then he will have to list the property. It may take another month or 2 months to sell the property. And I am taking the bare minimum. Let's suppose it is around close to 4 months. It can even go more. It can go even to up to 6 months. That it takes him time to sell the property, because he may be losing, because properties do not appreciate that much within 3 months to 6 months time. And so he may lose close to $10,000 there. He, at the time of selling, he may have to use a real estate. There is a 5% plus HST real estate fees plus the lawyer fees at the time of closing. And we have calculated those particular amounts, and they may turn up close to $25,000. So in total, his selling may come across another 10%. And now in the grand scenario of things, his grand total is close to $80,000. So his risk is almost, I mean, the down payment, if he sells it at a good price, able to procure then he may be able to salvage his down payment at least. But otherwise, all this money is lost. And he is down by 20% on day one. That is his risk on day one. So he has to see some kind of a down payment from a rent-to-own prospect or from like a person who's trying to purchase the property. And that is the reason why a down payment is required. Let's head over to our expert there, and we have 2 minutes to close the deal. So go ahead, sir.
Only thing I have to say is beautifully explained.
Appreciate that, sir. Appreciate that. Yes, I mean, most of the time, prospects have been asking me, why is a down payment required? Sir, the investor is taking close to a 20% risk, out of which 10% is right there and then on day one. If you do not have, and if you walk away tomorrow, and if something by chance, for God forbids, nothing works out, something goes wrong, he's down by another 10%. He has to see some down payment assistance from you. And most of the time, we tell that we require between 5 and 7% depending on the purchase price. There are some rent-to-own programs where you can get away with 2 to 4%. So also you have to understand various market has various different rent-to-own programs, so you can check upon those. Our general requirements are between 5 and 7%. So that is what I wanted to walk them through.
Beautifully said.
Appreciate it. Okay, I will take the last minute before we call it and just walk you through some of the important websites, and let me head over right away there and then, and that is the expert's website here. That is where you can go right away, and his name is Faisal Garcia. You can go to his website for more information, faisalgarcia.com. He is an expert in credit repair, and let's see if I can get his awesome done credit repair website now. It is improving as we go along every day. So this is his credit repair website, which is creditrepairnow.ca. You can head over there and seek all his expertise there if you're in the credit repair format. And regarding my websites, these are some of my websites. This is the website that you come over for webinars, and you can join the webinars here. And then in case if you need more information on rent to own, you can click here and you will be taken over to the rent to own page where you can get more insight on rent to own. I can also walk you through some of the zero down with the cashback program, so you can get some more information on that particular one. You can also visit, click on this one where you can see all the free online home search by clicking there. You will be on my main website. And the last one is the Power of Sale Homes. Feel free to put in all your information here, and I will be able to get you all the Power of Sale listings. And the last one is the MA in real estate. It is under your subscribe button, and you can have there. This is where I curate 8 or 10 articles daily basis, and you can avail all those articles and get the least. Thank you, Faisal sir. Really appreciate. I will call it off right away because otherwise I will be. Thank you again for all your time and expertise on this family days. Really appreciate it.
Thank you to the audience, and thank you to yourself as well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good night, sir.
Bye-bye.